Hello, hello, and welcome to Amethyst Racing. Today it's me, Martin, joined by an old familiar face in.
Hey FJ, I'm back.
We get ready for Spain, Tier 2. The Tier 1 drivers had a predominantly clean race. Let's see if the Tier 2 guys with a full grid, a full surplus of 20 drivers can keep it clean. We do have a lobby restart today to apply some grid penalties.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be a fairly entertaining, not only qualifying, but race. There's a full lobby. Tier 2, as we know, is quite close throughout the entire field, actually. So, I'm assuming it's going to be very entertaining.
Who are we looking for? The grid penalties are as follows today. While the commentator talks about Pascal Maldonado. He loves talking about Pascal Maldonado. So, Swan has a 2 place. Byland has a 3 place. Grabowski has a 3 place. And Nandor, who isn't driving today, has a 6 place. Monk's getting a little bit of love in the chat. And the first driver out is Alfred Monk.
Drunky Monkey. He is out on track.
Rocking a very purple helmet.
Oh, he is. That is a strange colour combination. Not sure how much that works. Few drivers out there.
I'm going to tell you now, guys. I'm very tired. I'm very grateful that Fox Johnson has stepped up to co-commentate with me today. Because I've been getting shot at all day. And my body hurts. So,
just for the good of the Twitch channel, I think we should probably clarify that it is airsoft.
It is airsoft, yeah.
Actually.
And also, Fox Johnson did kindly donate £35. How? How?
Has he just collided with his teammate?
And Berry.
Oh.
But here comes Monk, round the final corners to start his first hot lap. Can he get it inside of the top 10? And actually score some points. Once again.
Has he scored points this season?
I don't actually know.
Can he keep up his streak of not scoring points?
I'm sure he scored. He's sure he scored points by now. But anyway, he rounds turn 4. And it's going to be into the late, tricky downhill braking of turn 5. Want to swing it around, ride the green curb on the exit. And it's into the chicane where that sausage curb, take it a little bit too much, can ruin your lap. And you'll be in that wall on the outside there. Chicken nugget meal. Oh. So it's going to be coming round the final few corners now for Monk. He's only got 2 to go. Riding the curb on the throttle, and Alfred Monk is going to be setting the benchmark lap. And it's a 1:11.6. It's not too bad at all, actually.
That's not bad at all, no. That is a fairly decent time. Van Loon just behind.
Only 2 seconds. Meanwhile, Byland, your ex-team principal, and Berry beats his team principal. And Puffran by 2/10. No, 200ths. And Melvin Talbot to beat them. And then Potts goes P6. Who is next? Oh!
Rose 2 with it. I'm pretty sure that was faster than my fastest time in Tier 1.
Washed.
We won't talk about it though, we won't talk about it.
Understandable. Understandable. As we look to see, there is a few moves that have happened. So, Melvin Talbot and Dykstra have swapped teams.
May I just add, Mr. Melvin Talbot's helmet looks pretty decent with that George Russell car. I was actually there when he was making it.
It is a George Russell helmet, isn't it?
It is. It doesn't look bad at all.
But meanwhile, who is on a lap that Khan might be one to watch? He's only just started his lap, though. Who else could be on one? Kalishalek, possibly. Patrick Kizel making his return to the grid. Mans Vandenberg as well. It is going to be Kalishalek. Koselek. A lot of people opting for black and purple helmets. That is normally what happens when you cut the circulation off.
Very interesting fact.
Koselek,
Ice cream, yes, you are correct.
Oh, Hardizers has gone P2.
That was not bad whatsoever. I believe, is this Hooveners? Hooveners is on a lap.
Vandenberg to the line, only goes P14. Now it's going to be Khan, who can't even beat his teammate. A 10th down. Kizel's gone P15. I'm not used to seeing Kizel that far down. Hooveners goes P15 ahead of Kizel. And it is Grabowski. That is not Grabowski, that is Monk. Grabowski next to do a lap. As he opens his DRS flap now on that back straight. Has a couple of cars behind him on outlaps as well. But it's going to be Grabowski now looking to see if he can put a solid benchmark lap. Flew in Bahrain in Tier 2. Can he keep it up here in Spain? And it's a drive to the line and Grabowski goes P16.
Oh.
I feel...
It was a bit anticlimactic.
It was a bit anticlimactic. Who...
Spiky, I'd imagine that gets removed if Tyler lagged back into you. Apparently that was the cause of the incident that gave him a 5th place.
Yes, my food is on the way. So, Jehovah's always the only man yet to set a lap, and he's starting it now. With an interesting helmet. Very pink.
Suits the car though.
Does go very well with the car. But he's now coming round the long swooping right-hander of turn 3 before it's another tight swooping right-hander of turn 4. Has his teammate ahead of him. Maybe even going to give him a little tow down the back straight. Who knows?
He's a little far ahead. But one of the things you have to be... Oh, no. He lets him past. Because he almost backed out. One of the things you do have to be careful about on this track is marbles. They can catch you out. And they're very, very, well, hard to work with, I'd say. Especially down the straights. To make sure you're right on the racing line. But that is not a bad Sector 2 time whatsoever. Just got to make sure he doesn't lose it through these corners. Because the tyres will be cooking at the end of this lap.
Did choose quite a wide line to take there.
Yeah, it opens up the next couple of corners nice and tidy through the final corner to the line. P11. It's not too bad.
Ahead
not
of
too bad.
So your provisional top 10 is Rosu, Hardizers, Talbot Much, Huff Van Bylen, Jerling Khan, Berry and Monk rounding out the top 10.
Byland just went P2.
And Byland has improved. So now we're starting to see people doing their second laps. It is going to be Dijkstra just starting his. Much no. Rolf van Loon reserving, coming into the pits after invalidating. That's going to cost him dearly. Meanwhile, Rosu. A different time. A different time popped up on the screen compared to the time that is on the board by a thousandth. The game said he set a 1:46, and the timing board saying a 1:45. So, Codemasters once again. Hardizers starting his lap now. We look to see who could be on a flyer It could be Puffran starting. Potts has gone up to P6. Meanwhile, still slower than his teammate, but only by 300ths.
Looks like Hard Eyes is on another lap.
Hard Eyes is pushing as well. I'm going to switch to his teammate who's currently running bottom of the board. We're looking to find some time. One final corner. And Peter Jan Dijkstra starting his lap now?
I'm not sure, but Hard Eyes, I don't know if it was a fake fastest sector, but it seemed like he went quickest sector 2.
He's up 500ths on his time.
He's not on a bad lap whatsoever. See if he's able to improve his position.
Oh!
He does, he goes fastest. That is a hell of a time.
He found 2 temps in the final sector. That's a lot of time to find in one corner. Meanwhile, Hooveneers, next man on track to come across the line, will be looking to improve. Maybe going to the top 10. Only manages to jump ahead of Rolf van Loon, still behind Filip Pavic. So it is going to be Berry coming to the line now, who buries his car between the 2 Aston Martins. And it is Kiju on an outlap, Much in the pits, Van Loon on an outlap.
Arn is just starting his lap now. He's getting a nice little tow from...
Dijkstra does improve to P18. He did do 2 outlaps.
Ah.
So, interesting strategy. The grid is a lot tighter than I was expecting. It's almost within a second from first to last. So Khan...
I was just about to say, very tight field, and I was just keeping an eye on Khan. He seemed to take a bit of a tighter line through turn 1, especially on entry.
He does have Rolf van Loon just ahead of him, dishing out dirty air through these twisting corners, though, of Spain. As we see Monk just ahead as well on a lap. Let's see, can Alfred Monk put it back inside of the top 10? He's only got 2 more corners to go. Can Monk do it, is the question. Monk going ahead of Jerling. Next up is going to be Rolf van Loon, who goes...
into the pits.
Khan though, P7.
7.
Jerling, who's currently P10. What can Jerling do? He's found 700th so far. One final corner to go for Jerling. Can he get back ahead of Monk? He does, up into P6, just behind Puffran by 200ths basically. Meanwhile, it is Hard Eyes as Adim Rosu with Byron P3, Talbon P4, Puffran P5. Kalishalek has put a big time and goes P6. 7th is for Jerling, 8th for Khan, 8th for Potts, 9th for Khan, 10th for Much. Then it is Monk and Berry starting on the 6th row as things stand, with Jehoza and Kizil on the 7th. Grabowski in the pit, sharing the 8th row with Filip Pavic. Then it's Hooveneers and Rolf van Loon on the 9th row, with Peter Jan Dijkstra and Vandenberg starting at the back. So I'm expecting to see everyone diving into the pits now. But we do have Puffran on an outlap.
We do.
He is going to be the first person to set their final lap. Maybe banking on getting some quiet time with the track. Is the only thing I can think.
Either that or he's... yeah, I think that's... I'm not too sure.
Oh, and he
I don't know.
absolutely mounted that sausage curve on his outlap.
Jeff Pavic though, P13. Just improved from P16, I believe.
The Williams reserve right behind the two Williams main seat drivers.
Not a bad effort from Pavic whatsoever.
Now,
Yes.
the question is, how many people are going to eat that bump in the pit lane? As Puffran now is going to start his lap. Let's ride on board with Puffran. I can't remember his first name. Ariane Puffran has got a Alfa Romeo waiting in the pits to let him through. Very high revs through turn 2. The car looked a little bit loose there on exit though. Didn't take it as wide as you'd expect there through turn 3.
No, I think it's compromised him slightly for this corner with the marbles. He had to scrub off a bit more speed than he would have wanted to, but he's hooked it up nicely for the hairpin and he's accelerated out of it. Once again, very nicely, he's kept the car in check.
Into the tricky turns 8 and 9 now. Riding too much of that sausage curb can ruin your race. Doesn't eat the inside curb either there. Puffran now with the DRS open, will be heading into the final sector. And he's up a 10th.
As the fastest sector 2. Could be a flyer from Puthran. He's hugged that inside curb. He's not touched it though because that can send you flying. He's hooked it up nicely for the final turn.
Misses the apex again though. That's going to have lost him at least a 10th possibly. And it definitely
P4.
did. Does go P4. But he lost time in that first and third sector.
He did. Turn 1 was not the tidiest. He went a bit wide through the corner. He didn't quite hit the curb, which is what you would have expected to do.
I'm hearing you're a bit quiet. Let me turn you up a little bit. That was from when I was playing NASCAR. Yeah, there we go. We're back.
Right. Yeah, turn 1 and 2 wasn't great for Puthran. He just missed the apex slightly and he had a bit of oversteer.
Oh, there's someone... So Monk's gone round and Hooveners, who was on a lap, has slowed to a crawl. I wonder if there's contact between the pair. As every car, bar one, is out on the track. And Pavic is coming out, but I don't think he's got enough time to get around the track.
No, he doesn't. And it looks like Dijkstra is giving a tow to Hardizer.
Dijkstra losing his whole front wing.
Oh.
So, he's doing the best that he can do for his teammate there.
Oh no. Cohen ate the marbles through turn 3. It's compromised him massively for turn 4.
So who is on a lap that we need to keep our eyes out? Byland further back. Talbot is in between. There's a very slow, that's Much. Much has had an off. Oh, there's a Ferrari spinning in the background. I can't quite work out which Ferrari that was.
That was... Oh.
But
Vandenberg's also round. He's in the wall. He's gone off at the same corner.
people struggling on turn 4.
I think that'll be the marbles from turn 3, and that is a Williams round. That's Berry.
This turn 4 is being the bringer of bad news. That is for certain. It has claimed 3 people as Hardizers comes into the pits. Doesn't improve. There's a slow Mercedes. Next up, it is going to be Talbot to the line. Talbot very slow there. Doesn't improve. A lot of people probably getting held up by the spins. As Rolf van Loon goes P18.
Oh. Khan he had a purple sector 2 there. He was up on his time and he just managed to invalidate.
Who do we look
that tricky
for?
left-hander.
Jehovah's all goes P12. Goes between the 2 Williams. Next up, it is going to be Khan, who's invalidated. So it is a Red Bull, and it can only really be Rosu, who's in the pits.
Vandenberg has invalidated.
Monk coming around. Kalishulek is the guy who I believe spun and got wing damage. Pavic did manage to get round to do this lap. Pavic, right on the limit there on his out lap.
Oh.
does
Your team.
improve, but doesn't gain a position. But that is the end of
He gained
qualifying.
one position.
Oh, he did. He got ahead of Berry.
Yeah.
So, we now have a lobby restart to do. But it'll be hard as with Rosu alongside him on the front row. It's a second row lockout for the Haas team with Jerling, Talbon, Kalishalek, Potts, Khan and Much rounding out the top 10. As we have to wait for Jerling and Hooveneers, who can't press the retire button. There we go. As there we have Alfred Monk finishing off his in-lap. But let us get the print screens for this. Dun, dun, dun. As we're going to quickly do a lobby restart now. And we'll be right back.
Was it?
Hello, hello, and welcome back to Amethyst Racing. We have now set the grid. Byland had a free place, and Grabowski had a free place, which means Balint Nandor and Swan's penalties do roll over to the next race.
What is next race? Is it Belgium?
It is Spa, a track I'm predominantly known for being bad at.
Same here. I have a history with a certain corner there.
I have a history of poo on.
So does Jeff. I saw that video again the other day. Still funny.
Mine happened because I was trying to dodge a spun car. Jeff was trying to go flat
Dodge
out
you.
behind me. It's taking a while to load. Everyone doing their setups.
They may be. Either that or there's one guy that isn't loading in.
Puffran.
Most likely him, yes.
Or Rosu. The guy's on laptops somehow.
Rosu's on a laptop.
Yes.
My
My man's cooking faster that times than you on a laptop.
Hey, look. I can explain.
Here we go, though. Here we go. We're about to get underway. It's going to be an AlphaTauri and a Red Bull Shen in the front row. The lights go out. Away we go. And Hardizers seems to get a better getaway. Then Rosu. Byland. No, that's Puffram with a monster start as well. Looking to go free roll.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I'll let you.
Oh! And then, Hardizers. Oh! How many?
Jesus.
There's no DNFs.
There is no DNF.
Can't be a red flag! Yes! Let's go! Can't be a red flag!
Rosu spun out. He's down in P20 all the way from P2. He had such a monster start as well.
Hardizers spinning Rosu there. And then
Indeed.
let's see how many wings have been killed. So, Byland, no wing. Khan seems to have survived. Talbon doesn't appear to have damage. Jehovah's up into P9 appears to not have any damage. Kizio appears to be safe and free. Then it is Pavic, as they have gone racing once again. With Kizio overtaking Jehovah's. Pavic looks to be fine. Rolf van Loon looks to be fine. Potts, possible, doesn't look like it. Vandenberg's car survives, but Much's car has end plate damage. Houveniers is missing his front wing. Rosu may have somehow avoided getting damage.
I believe Jehovah's also has damages along with Monk. Monk's
Both
into
Ferraris,
the pits.
both Ferraris into the pits. They're double stacking. Ferrari master plan. But it is going to be Hardizers leading, but I'm sure that is going to be a penalty going towards him.
I didn't see what happened at the start. I wasn't. Well, I saw what happened. I didn't know who caused it. Was it Hardizer?
Yeah, it was Hardizer.
Hmm.
P1 and P2 collided.
Right.
But Puffran is all keeping up to the back of that AlphaTauri, with Jerling holding steady. There's a bit of a drop back to Berry. The front three have pulled away.
If I was Khan, I'd be wanting to clear Berry as soon as possible. Looks like Khan has more pace. So if I was him, I'd want him to be clearing that Williams ASAP.
Jerling's cooked a big lap up there. Goes fastest so far on the medium tyres.
Like Kizio's got past Talbot as well.
Kizio race pace definitely showing up strong here. And let's have a look at the tyre choices.
Extra side by side with Rosu. Rosu looking for a switchback and he nearly loses it.
So Dykstra has chosen the soft tyre compound, whereas Rosu has gone onto mediums. Fantenberg also on the medium tyre. Then it is Monk, Byron on soft, Jehovah's on hards, Much and Hooven is medium, and the two Ferraris have gone soft. But it is the battle for the lead currently is Puffran giving chase.
So Jerling's also catching up to them.
Jerling is using the medium tyres very well.
I think we're about to see a move from both Aston Martins, if not a move from a Haas.
So let's have a look. Can Khan make the move here on Berry? Pulls out to the side.
Spiky going for the lead. A little bit of contact with Hardizer. Hardizer off the track, nearly takes Spiky out, but Spiky's back into the lead and Jerling all over the back.
That's Puffran taking the lead of the race. I wonder if there's no way Hardizer's got damage from that. It was wheel-to-wheel contact.
Don't think he does. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't seem to be losing too much downforce through the corners.
No.
Oh, sorry. Jerling looking up the inside through that flat-out right-hander.
Jerling very racy, but Puffran's now going to be at the mercy of the double DRS train behind him. As Khan will be hoping to catch up to this trio. Definitely could have the pace here. Kizel has clawed his way back onto the back of that Williams car as well. I'm wondering if there's probably a lot of damage lingering around, I can imagine, from that lap one.
Yeah, looks like it, and Hardizer is all over the back of Puthran. He pulls out to the right, pulls to the inside later on the brakes, but they're still side by side in this contact!
Once again,
yeah.
It's Hardizer's and Puthran this time with a car on his inside. I'm wondering if that is Hardizer's fault.
No, that looked to be on Puthran. He went for a gap that was never going to be there. He sent it up the inside at turn 2 and it just caused the contact.
Was he entitled to space though? That is something that will have to be judged later on down the line. Yeah. But now, Puthran is in P2 and Hardizer's has been sent back to the Gulag in P6.
He has. He's going to have to... Looks like Talbom's making the move on him now.
He is, and former teammates. That is Talbon getting past Hardizer's and has Pavic. Oh my god, I never thought I'd say this. Right on his rear.
Jesus.
Pavic.
We've got to remember Hardizer is on the Haas and he's into the pits. He must have damage.
He's going to retire. Oof. My money's on him retire. Meanwhile, Kizel has now made the move on Berry and Puthran gets overtaken by Carnage and Aston Martin 1-2 as things stand. Kizel in the Alpine up to P4 with Berry in P5 and Talbon P6. Pavic in P7 now. Oh.
Rosu nearly just ate a wall. I didn't see the full... you were right.
I was right. He was going to lose his mentor and retire.
I did not see the full incident, but it looked like Rosu nearly ate a wall with Dykstra. Either overtaking him or defending. I'm not quite sure. But I switched back to Rosu and he was on the right of the track. He was pretty much off of it.
Right, the battle for P2 is going to heat up as there's someone gone off. It's Hooven. And that's a safety car. Everyone who was caught in that lap 1 incident going to be celebrating. Meanwhile, Hardizer's car decided to go out. And who do we see into the pits? That is Kizel coming in? It's very early to go onto the hards.
As well as Berry. Speaking from experience, those hards at the end of the race are not going to be very nice.
They're going to be looking at puncture territory, no?
Very much so. I did 21 laps on them. and they were about 65%. So I'm not sure the hards will make it to the end. If they're going on to hards, looks like Van Loon's going on to mediums. He may be wanting to make a two-stopper here, and
Van Loon's probably in the best opportunity to make a two-stopper work.
Jeff is on the hards, Fantenberg is on the hards, Van Loon's on the mediums, and looks like a few others have pitted.
We're seeing a lot of people. Byron pitting, Jehovah's all pitting, Much, the Ferrari, Kalislek. I'm expecting Grabowski to also join in. Oh, the AI of Hard Eyes has killed Hooveners.
Ah.
So currently it's an Aston Martin 1-2 with a Haas in the middle of the Mercedes 3-4-5. So it is Mercedes powered engine cars, Ferrari powered engine car, Mercedes powered engine car. That white car sticks out like a sore thumb amongst the green and black. And then it is Rosu back up to P6. We'll be feeling a bit of redemption with Hard Eyes as retiring from the race. And then Kizyul in P7 who has pit.
Here's the first pit E, I believe is the correct word.
I'm gonna let you ask. I'm gonna let you say what they asked for, because I am not gonna say that.
What was? I cannot see that.
So it is that you like kids.
I what?
Yep.
That's yeah. No. No.
Interesting.
Yeah, no. I won't be saying that.
But the guys who caught in the lap 1 incident, other than Rosu, surprisingly, being handed a lifeline here. Currently in the points is Jerling, Khan, Puffran, Taubon, Potts, Rosu, Kizyul, Berry, Pavic and Fantenberg. Fantenberg started from P20.
From P20?
Yep.
And he's up to P...
He avoided the
Stellar
chaos.
drive.
He avoided the damage. Or the chaos, at least, around him.
I mean, how many people have pitted now? That's P7 through P18, no?
I can tell you how many people have pitted. And yes, it is P7 through to P18. Jehovah's all down has pitted twice.
Oh.
Can someone give that man a link to the Discord in chat? So safety
car in this lap.
Yes, and we're going to ride with Jerling to make sure that he follows the new rule. The anti-make everyone die rule.
This is the anti-me rule. I haven't read that, so...
I mean, you got to be signed, my dude.
That is a good point.
But Jerling has gone very early. Teammate could play the gap for him. But they're both on medium tyres.
If I was Aston Martin, I'd be getting Khan to hold up Puthran and push him into the back of... push him back into Taubon. That looks like Fantenberg side by side with Berry. Oh, no, not Berry. That's Jack Pavic.
And we have a yellow flag. There's been an incident further back, and it is Monk.
The drunk man, Dykstra, and Much. They're too wide. Monk on the outside in this contract.
We're looking at this battle still 4P9 because it is Pavic alongside Fantenberg, still on Fantenberg, slots back. Meanwhile, Kizyul came under pressure from Rosu. Rosu really showing he's got pace here with Berry right on his rear. Kizyul, though, running in P6 currently on his return after missing the first few races. And it's going to be Berry. Ooh, that's a big move, actually, but it goes a little bit deep. Rosu could maybe look to answer back. Not able to carry the speed through. As Monk and Dykstra are battling it out for the wooden spoon.
Kizyul all over the back of Potts now. He's only 3/10 behind. And that's Pavic up the inside of Rosu there. He loses out to his
Oh,
teammate
Rosu's
too.
had a monster moment there. Oh my god, it's like watching NASCAR. They're about to go 4 wide.
Oh, good
And
lord.
it is Rolf van Loon side by side with Filip Pavic. Filip Pavic holding off Rolf van Loon. Expect to see this battle all throughout Wednesday as well. With Vandenberg now putting the pressure on the McLaren driver, but does have Jehovah's in the Alpine on his inside. And now Jehovah's looking to run it around the outside. Oh, and there's no doing. The marble's on his tyres now. Meanwhile, Rosu. Does Rosu have damage? Because he's dropping down the order now.
Yeah, I think it may be those tyres. I'm not too sure. It doesn't seem to have any
Amongst
damage.
all that chaos, we miss Kizyul getting past Potts. Potts has now been passed by Berry as well. Potts driving very defensively here with that Williams right alongside him. They're wheel to wheel. And Berry is going to have the move done there on exit. Meanwhile, Kizyul is looking rapid in the straights.
He is. He's looking rapid throughout the lap. He's all over the back of Melvin Talbot here. Will Talbot defend the inside? No, he doesn't. Kizyul pulls out to the
Kizyul's
right.
rear light already flashing. Kizyul has been abusing that battery, but Kizyul will have the inside for turn 1 and is cleanly through on Talbot. Kizyul up into the top 4. Meanwhile, the chaos that we know that you wanted to see, because Rolf van Loon has got past Filip Pavic for P8. Thank you very much for the follow. And further back, we see Byland makes an audacious attempt up the inside of turn 4. Running a much tighter line there. Oh, it's gone.
I thought he was about to swipe Jehovah's there, but he just switched to the inside. They're still side by side going into this corner. That is not a good idea.
That looked like a very clean move, to be fair to Byland there.
It did. And Berry is all over the back of Talbot. He switches to the outside. Talbot pushes him wide.
Talbot very slow at the moment. I'm going to get my food quickly, so I'm going to put you onto Kizyul, because Kizyul is on a flyer.
He is indeed all over the back of Puthran now. He's gaining with those fresh hards on the 3 ahead of him. They're all on 10 lap old mediums and hards, and Kizyul pulls out to the right of Puthran. He's not using any ERS. Neither is Puthran, I believe. But Kizyul on the inside, and he just makes the move stick. He sends it a bit later into turn 1 than Puthran, but Puthran looking to make that move back, but he just doesn't have the pace through turn 3 coming into turn 4. So it's now a charge for Kizyul to get both Aston Martins, and if the Astons want any chance at keeping this 1-2, they've got to work together, and they can't be battling at all.
Jehovah's, meanwhile, battling it back with Byron once again. And gets a bit of a snap there. Was there contact? Possibly. Byron now with the inside through turn 9. That is a chaotic move to try and go for a move, but he's done it. Byron driving defensively. It's going to open up a move, and Jehovah's losing another position to the Ferrari. The Ferrari's rear light, though, is flashing, and it is chaos throughout the field.
Meanwhile, Potts and Van Loon side by side. They're still side by side. There's a little bit of wheel banging, but Potts just has to back out. He knows he can't fight that. Van Loon on the 5 lap old mediums, him on the 11 lap old hards, and Khan makes a move on his teammate Derling for the race lead. He's made that pretty cleanly just before turn 1.
Kizyul, though, will be hunting this pair down now. Kizyul into the top 3, looking for a podium on his return. As chat is calling for Rolf van Loon to tier 2. I'm wondering how much of it is the tyre difference and how much of it is possible damage.
I mean, it looks like Talbot and Puthran, they're all struggling on those 12 lap old hards. As Bylan, that's Jeff. He's on the grass and he's round. He just manages to keep it out of the wall, but he goes back to his old ways. And may I just point your attention back to the top 3. Kizyul is still on a charge with those fresh hards. He's trying to get into clean air as soon as possible, and is only 2 tenths behind Jerlin here. He's looking to maximise that exit. He's stuck with him through that corner. And if I was Jerlin, I would be holding up Kiziel through these corners. But no, Kiziel gets the better run out of that corner, but he doesn't have the ERS that Jerlin has. And Jerlin all over the back of Khan. He pulls out to the inside. He's made that move.
Kiziel's gone
but
for
he's
a
out
on
of
Khan.
I did
Kiziel's
not see that.
P2.
Kiziel up to P2, and now it is up to him to get past Jerlin. Jerlin has no ERS. Kiziel's been saving his ERS for a little bit. Khan trying to find a way back through, but he just doesn't have the answer on those tyres.
The fresh hards for Kiziel. Is Kiziel going to pit again though?
It's a possibility that he's going to pit again. I'm not sure.
Because tyres are going to be on death row.
Well, he pitted lap 7. I'm not sure he's going to be able realistically to make it to the end without a puncture or without spinning out for that matter, because those tyres will be dead. I'm just looking at Bylan now, pulling to the outside for turn 10, I believe this is. Round the outside, and Potts still going defensive, pushing his limits with Bylan, but Bylan just slips through in this contact. Bylan holds it. There is no... And that's Jerling into the pits.
So Kiziel takes the lead of the race.
He does. That is a fairly early stop. And it looks like Barry pulling to the inside of Puthran into turn 1. Puthran can't fight it. He doesn't have the tyres. Barry does on those 8-lap-old mediums. He's got the fresher tyres, and he makes a move stick.
It's not early, because he's going on from medium to hard, is Jerling.
It's still 19 to 20 laps on those hards, and like I did, I pitted lap 12, and my tyres were dead at the end. I couldn't stick with the hard medium runners. But I mean, he's gone for the undercut, I believe. I think he's tried to come out ahead of the others that are going to pit, and that is going to work for him. But
came out ahead of Pavic, importantly, which means he has clear air ahead of him. He only has the battling Monk and Dykstra for...
Oh! That is the Ferrari round. I'm not sure of his name.
Oh, he's drifting still.
Yeah, those softs are not working for him anymore. I think they're overheating slightly. I'd also like to say Khan has almost dropped out of a second, and Drahovazol in sync with Bylan as Bylan gets past Evan Potts. Drahovazol's side by side with Fantenberg into turn 1. These are on equal age tyres, but Bylan nearly loses it. Oh, and that is the other Ferrari round. He's kept out of the wall. He's done a good job to keep that out of the wall.
Ferraris and walls today, it would appear, but Kiziel leading, but Khan is holding steady with him, even though the tyre advantage is firmly, and Dykstra's left the session.
That is not going to be great for Jerling, because he's got an AI to get past.
Yes.
But Bylan's still all over the back of Potts here. Down into this final corner. This is a nice overtaking spot. But Bylan stays behind. He wants that DRS for the next straight. He knows that, because he's got Fantenberg just behind him.
Is Bylan starting to feel the tyre issue though?
I would say around this point those mediums will start to drop off. I mean, they still have more performance than Potts' tyres, but they're not going to be great.
On the old mediums is now past Kiziel and hook round to get back past Berry. Is Kiziel now starting to feel it already? The tyre degradation will be about 20%.
I think for Kiziel, the most important thing for him now is to make sure he gets those hards to the end. He knows Khan has to pit, but he doesn't want to have to pit again.
No, because he will be well outside of the battle for the top.
Yeah.
The top probably 7 or 8 if he has to pit again. The undercut will be so powerful.
I mean, it looks like Jerling will come out in the lead of this race. Khan, I'd expect to pit maybe this or next lap. It'll be one of the two. And Berry is still all over the back of Puthran. Those mediums just hit the wall.
It is this lap now for Khan. Khan, who's going to be doing more laps on the medium than the hard tyre. That tells you the state of this game.
Oh, and that's a yellow flag. That is Dykstra. He's round. That's...
What is he doing?
He needs to get going again, or he's going to lose way too much time.
Meanwhile,
this is not a good day for the...
Jerling has set the fastest lap on them hards. So Jerling is pushing hard.
I'm not surprised. I still think he pitted a tad too early because he has Khan only 3 seconds behind. He hasn't made that much of a... And Dykstra has retired in the pits. Not a good day for AlphaTauri. He hasn't made the inroads that he would have wanted to on those hards. He hasn't managed to utilize the fresh tires as much as he would have wanted. And Berry nearly loses it.
Rolf Van Tier 2 here, looking for a move for P2.
It seems that he's managing his mediums a bit better than Berry. How good of an idea it was to go onto the mediums, I'm not sure, but Potts into the pits. Rolf Van Loon is P2 in Tier 2.
He will be needing to pit again.
He will, and Hard Eyes' AI right in the way once again. Let's not have another Hooveniers incident. Oh, yeah. That's the one.
Oh my god, it is atrocious.
Everybody getting out of the way of that AI.
Codemasters couldn't make a working game if they tried.
They really couldn't. I really think they are in the wrong business.
Can't need much, all over the rear of Phantomberg.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to get past Phantomberg. I mean, he wants the clean air because those tyres will be screaming at this point. They're 12 laps old. He's on the mediums, and I can guarantee in dirty air they're not going to be cool either. They're going to be they're going to be very, very hot. And he just wants that cool air, so he may look for a move down the next straight.
He's on 13 lap old hards already. There's no way he's going to be able to make it.
I highly doubt it. It's, what, 26 laps on the hards? It's just not going to happen. And Jerling is past the Ferrari. He's pulling away from his teammate. That is for sure.
Has made the move on Puthran there for P11.
The DRS is very, very powerful down this straight. It's very long. You get the slipstream for a while. And just a lot better for overtaking than it was last year.
Net P1 is an interesting question. Because it is technically Jerling, but Kizel doesn't need to pit again.
Well, he'll be lucky if he doesn't have to pit again, and Potts is past Jeff. Jeff Pavic is down in P14. Yeah, he'll be very lucky to not have to pit again. If I was him at this point, I'd be managing... yeah, I'd definitely be managing my tyres a bit. I'd be making sure they go to the end as much goes into the pits. I'd be ensuring that I'm not taking any risk with what I'm doing. And it looks like Puthran is going to be wanting to get back past Talbot down towards turn 1. And yeah, he pulls out to the right. He's making that move before turn 1. Talbot doesn't really fight it. He knows there's no point.
Unless they're just trying to DRS train up to the back of the Aston Martins.
Yeah, I mean, slingshotting could be... That could be in play here.
And
it'd be smart of them if they were.
So, the big battle currently is Jerling versus the gap to the leader.
Yeah, and Khan is being held up by that Ferrari's tyres are not working for him whatsoever. He's on 14 lap old mediums, and you can just see the difference in tyres between those two cars.
I actually used the better setup. I used the qualifying setup in Tier 3.
Yes.
No, I used the qualifying setup in Tier 2 and a race setup in Tier 3. I was faster race pace in Tier 3. As you would know, Chewy, because I sent it down the inside of you into turn 10. Anyway, meanwhile, Puffran managed to get the DRS off that Ferrari.
If he doesn't get past soon, he's going to be held up massively through this section of the track.
A lot. Oh my god, he's
yeah. Puthran's going to have to make the move here.
Wide.
Talbot manages to sneak through as well. That was very well calculated from Talbot there, because now he's all over the back of Puthran, and he's
is in the sights, but Jerling has made this gap to Kvyat go down by 2 seconds this lap.
He has.
The gap is... Rolf is gaining on Kvyat.
I'm not sure how that works. Maybe Rolf is planning on pitting. So he's pushing a bit. I'm not too sure, but Berry is also... He's got a helping hand of DRS. Maybe that's what Van Loon's doing, and drove us all into the pits. I'm assuming... I would imagine those top 3 medium runners will be pitting very, very soon on those 16 lap old mediums.
There goes Talbot once again for the move. And Ryan Much on the soft is looking to take them a long way.
Well, you softs as well.
He's in the pits. He's in the pits. Pits. I thought he binned it. I did believe he binned it for a second. I ordered too much from McDonald's. I'm saying that. I thought I was hungrier than I was. I'm just tired. I want a nap.
I think the closest battle at the moment is Puthran and Talbot.
But Talbot is almost in the DRS now. Khan.
He's also out of ERS though. Puthran is not. He's got almost a full battery. Byland is also not far behind Berry, and
Rolf and Berry
Berry's
into the pits. So Byland goes up. What tyre is Byland on?
Byland is on the medium tyre.
Byland is going to need to pit again as well.
Puthran is going to want to make the move here. He pulls out to the right. He's got past Talbot, and that's a crucial move for him, because he's not only going to have the DRS from Khan down the next few DRS straights, but he's also ahead of Talbot, so he's not in his dirty air, and he's got a bit of a clean run now.
Jerling not taking out as much time now on Kvyat, but it is under 10 seconds. We are watching this gap as the 2 medium runners are doing their absolute best to gain on the 2 Aston Martins, and that they have.
Puthran is in DRS now, I believe.
I'm not doing interviews today. I need to go to bed after. I hurt all over. How long is a pit stop in Spain? It's not the shortest pit stop.
I believe it's about 21, 22 seconds. Maybe wrong there. Got 23 in my head. Byland is into the pits.
It's got to be 23, maybe 24. Because it's a very long pit stop. Byland was 3.5 seconds behind Kvyat coming into the pits. Let's work out where he is when he exits. Meanwhile, the battle for what is now P3 is about to heat up, because the Aston Martins have come together and they're gaining on Vandenberg, but also Puthran and Talbot gaining massively. Byland comes out into P12, losing 21 seconds. So Kvyat, using that math, will currently come out in P9 if he pits.
I don't think he really has an option to pit, because that entire area of the grid, they're all on softs.
Or medium.
So unless he goes onto the softs, I don't think he really has an option to pit. And Berry has made that move on Drahovazol before the DRS straight.
Berry looking very racy here, outperforming his team principal.
Talking of outperforming, it looks like Khan is also outperforming Jerling as it stands. Khan has pulled up to the back of Jerling, but Jerling, like I said, he pitted very early, so he's on 11 lap old hards. Khan on 8 lap old hards. He pulls out, and he's got that move. Puthran just eyeing them up now.
Maybe that was just smart play by them as Berry sets the fastest lap, flying on them softs. A smart play, let the guy with the fresher hards continue the chase for the Alpine. But first they've got to get past Mans Vandenberg, who's also trying to long it out on the hard tyres. As Rosu, his teammate in P15, Rosu, started P2. But we all know what happened there. And
Khan is going to be screaming inside of that helmet because he's being held up. And he's got to get up to the back of Kizio, and that's a yellow flag. That is Rosu, he's round.
I wonder there was contact with him and the Ferrari, because that Ferrari is also round.
He's in the wall.
No damage.
Has he got damage? No.
So Kizio leads. The gap, Khan has got past Vandenberg, most importantly. The gap, as we start lap 27...
6.5 seconds.
Less than that, 6.3.
Vandenberg is going to get past Khan here again, and Khan defends that inside line, but it's just not working for him. Spiky up the inside of Jerling. There is a little bit of contact. Spiky round the outside on those fresher mediums, and he now starts his hunt for Khan. We've got to remember, there is a possibility for Spiky getting a post-race penalty for his incident with Hardizer, so he's got to make sure he's as far ahead of everybody else as possible.
There is a massive train currently. Vandenberg helping Kizio wet as much as he can. Also, Rolf van Loon is ahead of Evan Potts on them soft tyres. Rolf van Loon is flying right now in P7.
He isn't, Spiky braking later than Khan on those mediums. He's going to be able to. Still 6 more laps to go, which means Spiky's mediums will be 15 laps old, which, as we saw, was not the best for pace. And Byland's up into P10.
Byland now into the points with the fastest lap as well, importantly. But it is going to be Vandenberg now, without the DRS, at the mercy of everyone with much fresher tyres. We see Taubon looking to make a move on Jerling.
And Puthran makes that move on Vandenberg. Vandenberg tries to stick it round the outside, but he just can't. He doesn't have those tyres. But most importantly, will Taubon try and make the move into turn 4 on Vandenberg? It looks like he will. He pulls to the inside. He goes up the inside. Vandenberg leaves him room, but he's on those marbles. He's lost the grip.
And
he can't do anything.
So these 4 now will be hunting down the man who is in the lead on 21 lap old hards. They must be so close to the edge of their line.
He won't make it to the end. He won't make it to the end. He'll have a puncture, and I think he knows that. I think he just has to. He is, and Byland all over the back of Berry. He won't want to make the move here. No, he will. No, he doesn't.
Byland in P9 though. Potts dropping down the order. Next is Ryan Much to get past him, with Jehovah's also on the soft. Rolf van Loon has dropped Berry here. Rolf is cooking.
Will Puthran be able to make the move on Khan? He's closing in. He pulls to the inside. He doesn't decide to go past. I think he wants to save a bit of ERS, but Khan is not gaining on Kizio. He's not gaining at the rate that he should be gaining on Kizio. And I think that's going to be hurting Puthran.
And Kizio, the gap now is about the same, give or take. Kizio has maybe stopped the bleeding.
I mean, there comes a point that yes, the performance isn't great, but the car balances itself out because of that tyre wear. It gives you the right amount of rotation, or the right amount that you want. So it may have reached that point where it has balanced, but it still won't be great for performance. He will lose time, and he's lost nearly half a second. He has lost half a second.
Maybe
to behind.
Starting to feel it a little bit now. And he's
It
rear
wouldn't
light
surprise
blinking
me.
as well. Any of the other drivers' lights blinking though? That is the question as they come round the final corner. They've dropped I've just watched Vandenberg overshoot the line as well.
Putran pulls to the right. He's made that move, but Talbom looks to the inside. He goes up the inside and he makes that move. There's nothing that Khan can do. And he's got Jerling all over the back of him now on 15 lap old hards. But 23 laps on those hard tyres for Kisiel. And if I was Spiky, I'd be wanting to pull out of DRS of Talbom just behind.
It's going to be very interesting now. That gap is coming down. It's already down to under 5 seconds.
A bit further back, Much and Drahovizol side by side. Much gets a snap of oversteer because he's on those marbles and he just can't do anything. Drahovizol is back past Much on 2 lap fresher softs.
Byron dropped Berry off like it was nothing.
He did. He seems to have some pretty decent pace. He's in P8 now.
And Potts, Berry's gone very deep there. Potts gets back past. Are the softs starting to fade?
I would imagine so. Well, Berry's not so much, but Talbom, he's not. I don't think he's using any ERS. Khan is trying to stick with him, and he's going to struggle to do so on those hard tyres. And Spiky making inroads into Kisiel, but it's not enough.
They've got 2 laps. They need Kisiel to have a disaster, a tyre disaster.
If Kisiel can make it to the end, he's going to win this.
That is normally how it goes. I'm too tired.
That was a Will Buxton moment.
That was a Will Buxton moment. I am way too tired to do interviews though. It is gonna not come out correctly. But there you can see.
I beg your pardon.
The words that I'm after. The Haas driver in the distance. I don't believe he's going to be close enough.
Khan is gaining on Talbom. I think those mediums are starting to die off. This will be around the crossover point that those hards are better than those mediums. So maybe Khan wants to make a move. Talbom, again, I'm not sure if he's using the RS.
Byron got past Rolf van Loon.
Oh.
And they're both past Vandenberg. Rolf thought about a move for a second on Byland. Thinks better of it though. Meanwhile, with 2 laps now, that gap is just creeping under 3 seconds now.
It's one thing catching up to him, but getting past him is another, and that will be difficult for Puthran. You can see Kisiel now just ahead from Talbom's car. In fact, he's really struggling on those hards, as you'd expect. 25 laps is not an easy. It's not an easy thing to achieve, and Puthran running slightly wide there. If he can gain some time in this sector, he would have been able. No.
That rear right on Kisiel does not look happy though.
It does not at all. Kisiel is going to struggle to make it. He's got 1 more lap to go. That's all he needs to do. And Talbom is going to be the one trying to make a move on Puthran. And he pulls to the outside. He can't go to the inside because Puthran covers it off. Puthran on the inside. There's almost contact.
That was almost a bold send by Puthran. Meanwhile, Rolf van Loon tries to make a move on Byland there as well. But the gap is 1.5 now. Kisiel is being reeled in like crazy this lap.
He is. Puthran is struggling so much on those medium tyres. Khan is all over his rear. And curling up the inside of his teammate. That is not something you want to be doing, especially on the final lap.
Much older halves as well.
Just losing time, and Kiziel, he's got one more sector to go without losing the car, and I don't think he's going to do that. He's managed to do it 33 times already. Through he comes then. Final 2 corners to go.
Coming down, but not coming down enough. One more lap might have been enough for these guys to get past Patrick Kiziel. But Patrick Kiziel now will come and take the checkered flag. Kiziel wins in Spain. Taubon P2, Puffran P3. Khan and Jerling switch positions back. Rolfan Byland P6, Rolfan Loon P7. Fantenberg will drop out of the points with that 3-second time penalty. It's Jehovah's P8, Potts P9, and Berry rounds out the point scoring positions. Much comes home with 12th. Grabowski 13th. But Monk will get ahead of him via the points. That time penalty even I'm off to bed straight away after this. Sorry lads, no interviews. Here comes Rosu to think this could have been his race if not for a turn 1 incident.
He's got to be careful of losing out to the Ferrari. There we go. Ice cream, shut up.
We're not. I can't. That's not today.
It was quite an exciting race, actually.
It was a very good race.
Bit tired there, Luke.
Yeah. Oh, there we have it though. Patrick Kiziel is your race winner. Started P15. Made the strategy decision pay off with 1, maybe 2 laps tops. Bringing it home into P1. Taubon, who started 5th, and Puffran not gaining or losing any positions. And your pole sitter and your P2 driver very far out of the points. Hard Eyes rage quitting and losing the mental, and Rosu just not having the pace. Oh. Rosu had floor damage from that lap 1 incident.
I have just seen that.
That would do it. But anyway, I'm afraid to say on that note, it has been me, Martin, and I've been joined by
AFJ.
Tune in on Wednesday for the Tier 3 drivers attack on Spain. Who will come out on top? The only way you'll know is by tuning in. Anyway, thank you very much, and goodbye.